the Brickies will defend.
Yeah, we have Richard Anderson, who will be the umpire. Don Fisher will be the linesman. Mike Spurlock, the line judge, and Don Weber will be the back judge in the crew.
And we will hear from Tom Malone tonight, I believe.
Oh, yes.
We are ready to go. Kicking team coming onto the field for the Hobart Brickies. It'll be led by a 5'8", 145 freshman kicker, John Latinovich. The Bill Manilopoulos era, and I do mean era, he's a legendary kicker here in these parts. Well, it ends and it begins for John Latinovich tonight. He's got the ball on the tee at the 40. Roderick Hollingsworth is standing on his 18-yard line, I believe. The ball is in the air. Coming to the far sideline, a short kick fielded at the 14-yard line. Looks like Seanrick McDaniel, the quarterback, runs to the 25. Tries to get the corner at the 30. Has the corner to the 40. Knocked out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Nice shot on the near sideline, but Seanrick McDaniel showed you that explosive running speed on the opening kickoff.
McDaniels is one that they fear running that option, because if they don't pitch it out wide or give it up the middle, he's very tough off tackles. Showed a little speed that time. They got good field position to start.
1st and 10 for the Hornets right there on the 43-yard line. As you see, McDaniel almost got the corner, Stu, and almost got down the sidelines.
The kickoff coverage is going to be talked about on the sidelines. That sort of broke down a little bit.
Bob Segudovic put his helmet on him to get him out of bounds. 1st and 10 Hornets, 43-yard line. Nicholas Wright comes in motion in the backfield as they hand it off to the fullback. Andre Dix over the 44 to the 45-yard line before he is stopped by a host of Brickies, which included number 56, Tom Reisinger.
Tom Reisinger and Al Cooper win on that tackle there.
2nd down and 8 for the Hornets. To the near side comes number 18, Derek Santiago. A 6'4" wide receiver, double slot again. Fullback is the lone setback. Seanrick McDaniel on 2nd down and 8 is going to hand it off again to the fullback inside. Andre Dix across the 45, gets the 47. Stopped at the 48-yard line again. Reisinger was there along with Cooper.
Cooper again on the tackle along with Reisinger. They're keeping him down on the ground. Expect to see him open up a little bit on this play.
Such as Lou Holtz always does. Starts out with that fullback, gets you thinking mental, and then here you come to the outside as Anson Blackburn comes in the ball game for the Hornets to bring in the play on 3rd down and 5. Santiago comes wide left. Blackburn goes wide right. 3 receivers in the formation on 3rd down and 5 for the Hornets. Dix the lone setback. 10:28 clock running, first quarter. Just the start of things tonight. McDaniel going to run the right side. Has the 45. The midfield going to be brought down with a Lew Wallace first down at the Hobart 44-yard line.
Well, I think that's one of the things that Coach Kerr has been very concerned about when he goes out like that in a passing situation, takes him down deep, and he turns the corner.
A very big Wallace offensive line, but very inexperienced. LaJock Wright, Marquell Williams, Raymond Harris, Lyndall Howard. There you see the backfield. The quarterback, Seanrick McDaniel, Andre Dix, the fullback, Brian Robinson, Nicholas Wright, and Derek Santiago. We've got a timeout on the field on the far sidelines.
Brian, when he switch out now, watch you burn out! And the slant in, okay? Take off and slant in.
Just some speed there.
Yeah, he got to the outside and turned that corner on the linebacker, and they picked up the first down on the 45.
Blackburn comes wide left, Santiago wide right. Now the wishbone formation for the first time tonight for the Hornets on 1st down and 10. They give to the second man through across the 47 to the 48-yard line goes Demetrius Hope.
Yeah, Hope carried on there. He wasn't listed in the starting lineup, but he's going to be in there tonight.
He's also going to be starter on defense at safety, and he gets the call right away and gets 4 yards to the Hobart 41-yard line. It's 2nd down and 6. There's the front four for the Brickies.
Pop Evangelo, Reisinger, Knoll, and Jim O'Brien.
Sweet, Balish, and Cooper are the linebackers. On 2nd down and 6, McDaniel has 3 receivers in the formation to the left side, and Dick's the lone fullback. He's going to run the left side now. Gets a good block from Dick's. Going to fire downfield. A man wide open, and he threw it behind him out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
Derek Santiago broke into the clear and
all alone.
Fortunately went down there, and the ball was over his head.
Some confusion in the Hobart secondary. And Don Hollis coming on the field sort of to see what's going on there out there in the Hobart secondary. Burkhart, Sugutovic, Wallace, and Ryan Warren get the start in the secondary for Hobart tonight. And Santiago broke free in the secondary. A throw by McDaniel was behind him, or it would have been a Wallace touchdown.
I'm not sure what Coach Howell was out there for, but maybe he was explaining something to his people that you can't leave guys like that in the open.
3rd down and 6 now from the Hobart 42-yard line. 3 receivers in the formation again, 1 setback. Shonrick McDaniel going to pitch the right side to Dix, goes to the short side of the field, hits short of the 1st down, gets inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 3 for the Hornets.
Well, he pitched out there, left the halfbacks out of it, and gave it to Andre Dix. Dix usually is most effective up the middle, but he's got speed like they all have.
4th down, about 3 yards to go.
Dix 3 yards shy of the 1st down at the Hobart 38-yard line.
Should be Santiago in punt formation.
So Coach Templin will punt on 4th down. High snap to Santiago. It's a line drive, boot off, going to fly over Sugutovic's head, hit at the 2-yard line and go straight into the end zone. So not a whole lot of yardage gained on that punt, only about 17 yards as Dave Templin decides to kick the ball on 4th down and 3 early in the ball game. And the Brickies offense will come on the field for the first time tonight with 8:20 to go, 1st quarter.
Well, Hobart was happy to get that ball turned over. Usually Wallace scores first in all of these games the last several years, and we've had to come from behind. Now maybe they can mount a drive, but that defense from Wallace is very big.
1st down and 10 for the Brickies. They come out, split back, slot to the right side is Bob Sugutovic. Ed Casco is the senior quarterback for Hobart. He hands off right guard and tackles straight ahead. Looked like Jeff Bloom, I believe, running over the 20, maybe the 21-yard line, but that's about all.
Graves and Wright were in on that tackle.
No gain.
Outstanding penetration by the Hornet defense there. Andrew Pettigrew, 6 foot, 195 senior, starts in the middle of that defensive line for the Hornets on 2nd down and 10. Clock running at 7:45 to go. The handoff is inside, and let's see, he's going to be whistled down at the 21-yard line. Bob broke free after he was hit at the 21, tried to get back up and move toward the 25-yard line. As we take a look at the Hobart offense, Stu.
Yeah, we have Pete DeLincoln left tackle, Chris Sweet at the guard, Tom Reisinger back again at center, Al Cooper at the other guard.
Aaron Noel, a new name on the Hobart offensive and defensive lines this season.
Noel has done really a great job in camp this year.
Casco is back to throw on 3rd down and 10. The rush is on. They got a beautiful screen set up on the left side. A lot of blocking out in front of the ball carrier. I believe Jeff Bloom runs to the 36-yard line. Now it's Bob Sugutovic who caught the screen pass and gets to the 36-yard line. A 1st and 10 for Hobart, a gain of 16.
Derek Kleiss got in on the tackle on that one. Scooter had some blocks on that and managed to pick up the 1st down.
Beautifully set up screen pass as you saw the Wallace defensive line come to the quarterback and Sugutovic wide open. And a good stop by Kleiss for the Hornets. 1st down and 10 for Hobart. Ball resting just outside the 35-yard line. Papa Evangelo comes in motion. They quick pitch, and going down is Bloom at the 30-yard line. Outstanding play by Ben Graves, the 6 foot 190 senior, who came from defensive end to make the stop.
I think Graves read that outside move very quickly and knifed between the 2 potential blockers and got back in there and dropped him. Loss of about 6 on that play.
2nd down and 16 from back at the 30-yard line. Tight end comes to the right side. Sugudovic in the slot to the left side. The inside hand up to Sugudovic coming from the slot back
Scooter got
position.
the
He's through the
counter
middle,
and-
still on his feet. He's going to go down at the 43-yard line. If he keeps his feet, he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Came back on that counter, and that safety was the last one that had a shot at him.
They faked the pitch and then handed inside. And Sugudovic running beautifully through the middle of the football field.
This misdirection offense is causing a lot of people a lot of trouble, sometimes including the people trying to announce the game as to where that ball's going.
Certainly. Casco hands off straight up the middle. Comes Sugudovic again, I believe, across the 40. Inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Excuse me, that is a new ball getter.
Josh Skalba.
On the carry, picked up about 7 yards.
Josh Skalba, number 32, in the ball game for Hobart now. Sugudovic came out after that long run.
Skalba will be replacing Papa Vangelo often, and since Papa was going to be playing defense most all the night, so he'll be spotted in there at the fullback spot.
2nd down and 4. Bloom and Papa Evangelo.
Now they give it back to Papa.
He's got it to the 35, hit at the 36-yard line, and carries a Wallace tackler inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. And that was a major collision there at the 35.
Leon Dean in on the tackle on that one. Well, officials are getting used to it now. First measurement of the season.
Papa Evangelo at 206 pounds. Taking on Leon Dean at 245. Major collision there at the 35-yard line. Looks like it might be inches short of a first down for the Brickies at the Wallace 36. Well, let's call it the 35-yard line. They need to get all the way to the 34. And on 3rd down and short, the Brickies come to the line of scrimmage. Skalba back in with Bloom. Casco on 3rd and very short. Gives to Skalba, has the first down to the 34-yard line. Near the 33-yard line, LeChalk Wright, I believe again, number 78, made the stop.
Lindsey came in from the weak side also and helped out on that one.
On the carry,
But he picked up a couple of yards on the play.
Lew Wallace, 33-yard line.
1st down and 10 for the Brickies on the 33-yard line. Mark Parton comes wide right. Sugudovic back in the ball game in the slot to the right side. Skalba and Bloom again. They give it off inside to Sugudovic. Big hold of the 30. Sidesteps a man at the 32 now. Knocked down by Derek Kleiss at the 24-yard line. Nice shot by Kleiss, but Sugudovic has another Hobart first down, I believe, at the 24-yard line.
It's going to be real close, but I think it's going to be short by maybe about a half a yard. If they run that counter back in there, they throw the power at them one way and then come back with the counter. And it's hard for that defense to stay in the same spot. They just need to stay their place, but it's hard to do.
Roderick Hollingsworth also had a hold. It will be a Hobart first down, a gain of 10 on the play to the Lew Wallace 23.
I think this is the thing that Coach Howell would like to have the ball club do, just control the ball, move up down the field, run the time off the clock, and hopefully come up with a score.
It's been 2 methodical drives so far tonight. Wallace took the ball very well into Hobart territory. Here's Bloom to the 20, hit at the 21, didn't get to the 20-yard line as he was bounced back in a hurry.
Derek Kleiss on that tackle and put Jeff Bloom going back the wrong way.
A couple of good shots by Kleiss so far tonight as we take a look at the replay. Bloom, hello. You know, we've come to see Andre Dix give those kind of hits away. He's got someone else back there popping people also, and Derek Kleiss slot to the right on 2nd down and 8. They pitch it back to the line of scrimmage, on his feet to the 15. Short of the 15-yard line goes the ball carrier.
Ben Graves on the tackle again.
Jeff Bloom, I believe, with the carry. Yes, it was.
Jeff Bloom again.
A gain of 4. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Brickies at the Wallace 16.
Ball on the Lew Wallace 16-yard line.
Well, this is the time that the kicker gets a little bit nervous as he's on the sideline thinking if they don't make it here that he's going to be going in for a shot at the first points of the season.
3rd down and short, 3rd and 3. Ball on the 16. Mark Parton comes wide right. Sugutovic in the slot. Handoff, first man through, has the first down, still on his feet inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal.
Greg Papavangelo.
Big pickup, right up the middle. First down, Brickies, inside the 10, 8-yard line, 1st and goal.
1st down and goal for Hobart at the 8-yard line with 2:50 to go in the clock running 1st quarter.
I think they were thinking we were going to be coming off tackle again with Bloom, and that first handoff to Papavangelo sort of fooled them in there. They had the linebackers going the wrong direction.
1st down and goal for the Brickies on the Wallace 8-yard line. They pitch back to Bloom, running behind left guard and tackle. Stopped shy of the 5-yard line, maybe to the 6 before the Hornets corral him.
Andre Dix was in on that tackle.
Number 30.
2nd down and goal for the Brickies as they spot it back to the 7-yard line. Very well executed Hobart drive on the first play, or the first drive of the season for the Brickies here tonight. Josh Wallace comes wide to the right side. They give it to Sugutovic, I believe, running to the 5. Bob leaps into the end zone for the touchdown. The counter play with the inside handoff again, and Sugutovic diving for the end zone. He has the first Bricky points of the season with 1:56 to go, 1st quarter. It is 6-0 Hobart.
Nicholas Wright hit him near the goal line, but Scooter drove him back and went into the end zone for the score.
There's the inside handoff, Stu, and a nice leap at the end to get in the end zone.
Yeah, he smelled that the different grass in the end zone. They want to get into that one.
John Latinovich is on the field. Good snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. 1:56 to go, 1st quarter. An outstanding drive by the defending state champions, and they have a 7-0 lead here late in the 1st quarter tonight on WYN Channel 56.
Yard drive for Hobart on that one, taking the ball after the touchback on the punt and drove that ball all the way down the field. Sugutovic picking up big yards on the counter play.
Bricky fans kind of sitting on their hands there for most of that drive, Stu, and now on their feet as the first touchdown of the year is recorded.
Well, after Wallace got their little mini drive going on there, they get a little bit nervous because Wallace has always played us very tough and usually gotten on the boards first. But I think the fans are ready to see if we can get the ball back right away. But I think Coach Templin will have something else to plan on this one.
Latinovich approaches and a line drive boot, going to hit at the 30 and go out of bounds at the 23-yard line.
Well, they'll take the ball at the 35-yard line on the penalty on that one.
Yes, they will. 35 would be outstanding field position. Now let's see whether
they have the option. They may have him kick again. So.
And as we recall, the opening kickoff was returned by Seanrick McDaniel very nicely. Coach Templin talking to some of his offensive players on the far sideline. And they will take the football at the 35.
So the kickoff return team wasn't tested this much, and they still picked up a few yards to the positive there. They started on about the 44 last time.
Coach Dave Templin told me this week, sometimes when he comes to the Bricky Bowl for the opener year in, year out, he feels that he does not run enough option. And the key thing for him tonight was to remember to continue to stick with the option play. As the game develops, sometimes he thinks he gets away from it later in the ball game, and he needs to continue to call the option. As we have 4 receivers in the formation, McDaniel's going to roll the right side, has a blocker in front of him, has a lot of grass in front of him at the 40, hit at the 43, dives forward to the 45-yard line, close to a Wallace first down at the 45.
Looked like a pickup of the first down on that one, or very close to it there. Burkhart was in on the tackle. They're spotting it just short.
Stu, this is just a basic rollout and all kind of room for a tremendous athlete at quarterback. Second down and short. Ball just shy of the 45-yard line. Wishbone formation. McDaniel gives to Hope. Slips at the line of scrimmage. Might have fallen forward for the first down at the 45. If not, it'll be third down and short.
Demetrius Hope for Lew Wallace.
Aaron Knoll was in on that tackle.
Yardage for the first down.
Didn't pick up very much, probably about a foot, but he did get the first down.
That's when you want that ball carrier to fall down at the line of scrimmage and fall forward when it's 2nd and 1.
Well, that's what Coach Temple would like anyway.
You don't want that on 1st and 10. Wishbone formation. Receiver comes to the near side. McDaniel on 1st and 10. Hands off. Ball carrier diving forward at the 47-yard line, maybe the 48 for Nicholas Wright. Outstanding tackle on the play by Papa Evangelo.
Tackle made by Al Cooper.
Cooper was in on that tackle also, along with Papo, and hate to say they held him to only 4 yards, but he nearly broke away from that tackle. Would have gone a long way if he had gotten loose.
Second down and 6. Blackburn comes wide left. McDaniel with one setback behind him. Going to roll the right side. Dick's rolling with him. Schonrick to midfield. Going to be knocked down near the Wallace sidelines at the 47-yard line. 3 yards shy of a first down. When it'll be third down.
O'Brien played that end position real well, fought his blocker off and kept to the outside, and although he picked up a few yards, he did get him from turning up the field and got him right on the sidelines.
And we will run out of time here in the first quarter tonight. Wallace driving when we return in the second quarter of play. After one, a Bob Segudovic 7-yard touchdown run, and that's the story so far from the Bricky Bowl tonight. After one, Hobart 7, Wallace nothing on WYIN Channel 56. Third down and short for the Hornets as we begin the second quarter tonight from the Bricky Bowl. Third down and 3 from the Hobart 48-yard line. It's a handoff to the fullback. Big hole has the first down to the 42-yard line before Cooper again, and Burkhart made the stop. Andre Dix running effectively inside.
That's what they're afraid of. They get that wide stuff going out there, and they give it to Dix, and they've had a nice big hole up there. Cooper is not nearly as big as Andre, but he grabbed on like a little bulldog and did get him down, but not before they picked up the first down.
We still haven't seen Schonrick McDaniel run the option to the wide side of the field with the option man being very deep. That's the play that I'm looking at for Lew Wallace here tonight as they have the wishbone set. They give it to Dix against running straight up the middle, barreling over some Brickies inside the 35 down to the 32-yard line.
Segudovic on the first hit and Burkhart on the put down.
Andre Dix 5'7", 175, but a very strong fullback.
Andre Dix
found a big hole up the middle, and they blew out Cooper on that one, and it was up to the strong and the free safety to bring him down. Otherwise, he's gone all the way.
Second down and short for Wallace. And we have a timeout. Timeout of Hobart with 11:05 to go first half. As again, the Hornets on their second possession, moving the ball effectively on the ground.
Coach Kerr is in there defensively going over a few little strategies to, they had taken that dive away from him to start with, and all of a sudden the last two plays, Dix has made some big yards.
11:05 on the clock. Here in the first half, Coach Dave Templin on the field talking to his Hornet offense.
Will be awarded.
I had a lot of fun with Coach Dave last season as he joined me up here in the broadcast booth as we followed the Bricks to another state title in 1991. Somebody shy on the sidelines there, Stu.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard to see Coach is in there in the middle with all those big players around him. We sort of lost him. You said he was there. I guess he really was.
Second down and short for the Hornets. Ben Graves goes wide left. Derek Santiago wide right. Wishbone formation again on 2nd and 1. McDaniel gives again to the fullback. And again, Dix has a first down. Now let's see. I guess the ball came loose late. But it will be ruled dead at the 20-yard line. It'll be a Gary Wallace 1st and 10. And they're at the 20.
Aaron Knoll and Tom Reisinger made that first hit. They stood the offensive lineman up and managed to get Dix before he picked up too much yardage, but he did pick up the first down.
First down and 10. Graves comes to the near side. Santiago the far. Seanrick McDaniel with the wishbone formation behind him. Dix the fullback. He gets it again to the 25. Andre running over Brickies again to the 20-yard line. Inside the 20 to the 19, close to another Hornet first down.
Sagudovic was in on the tackle. Found a big hole off the tackle.
Andre Dix told Coach Dave Templin this week that he remembers big number 49 running into him a few times last year. He's running over some people here on this drive. Inside of 10 minutes to go first half. McDaniel again. Andre runs over the 20. Has a Wallace first down. Inside the 20 to the 17-yard line.
Reisinger in on that one along with Knoll. Chris Sweet was in on the final part of it.
Stu, right now, Dave Templin is challenging the Hobart defensive coaches to shut off the middleman. He wants him to try to shut off the middleman, then he's going to come with him outside.
As you'd pointed out earlier, they have not gone on that run to the wide side, and they've come back off the tackles and off the short side, but the wide side has been left open pretty much.
Santiago comes to the near side. First down and 10 Hornets in the 18-yard line. Now here comes McDaniel running to the 15. A nice cut and a beautiful open field tackle at the 14-yard line by Bob Sagudovic.
Sagudovic cut him down very well because one more step and McDaniel may have gone into the end zone.
2nd down and 6.
But he still picked up 4 yards on the play.
Bob Sagudovic, probably an all-state candidate here at Hobart this year. Definitely an all-state candidate defensively, and offensively very impressive so far tonight. 2nd down and 6 for the Hornets inside the 15 at the Hobart 14-yard line. Wishbone again. McDaniel gives to Dix, running inside the 10, down to the 7, where it'll be first down and goal for the Hornets.
It's going to be real close to a first down on that one. Sagudovic also in on the tackle.
For Lew Wallace, first down.
They're getting some good penetration off their own right side there, and Dix is running very, very well. It'll be first and goal from the 7.
Santiago to the top of the screen. Blackburn comes down to the bottom of the screen. Wishbone set again. Seanrick McDaniel under center. Again gives to Dix, surging at the middle of the field. A wrestling match has broken out at the 4-yard line after a gain of 3.
Looked like a rugby scrum out there for a little bit. Both sides standing up there pushing.
Andre Dix again, Matt Balish on the bottom.
We've just had some smash mouth there tonight on both sides. Nothing fancy, they'll just run at each other.
2nd down, 4.
A little forearm there late.
Well, stuff happens. Jock Wright and Markale Williams on the guard and tackle on that right side are doing some good blocking.
McDaniel hands inside handoff into the end zone for the touchdown. Well, it's been basically Andre Dix on this drive. They give it to Nicholas Wright, and he's right up the middle on a 4-yard touchdown run. And Hobart's lead is cut to 1. It's 7-6. Got him thinking fullback, and they hand off to the right half.
Nobody had a shot at him on that one. A couple of arm tackles, but that is going to bring these boys down.
McDaniel will hold. A good snap. Line drive boot. Looks wide right, and it is. Wide right by Frazier. And with 7:36 to go first half, Hobart retains the lead at 7-6. Otis Frazier, number 5. They threw a curve at me. I did not believe he would be kicking tonight. The 5'10", 140 sophomore tried to line drive it through there, just a little wide right.
Well, that gives us a little bit of a hope on that one. That's been one of the problems with Lew Wallace. They've just not had a good point after touchdown, but I guess coming from the Hobart program, they've had so many good ones, they just sort of expect that. Did get the kick up, but it just went wide to the right.
Very rarely in high school football can you get inside the 40, around the 30, and have a guaranteed 3.
Well, it's been sort of nice for the coaches there. They sort of figure if the offense doesn't make it, the kicker will.
7-6 Hobart.
It sure gives the other defensive team trouble too, and they shut down the offense on the multiple offense that they have, and then all of a sudden the field goal kicker puts one through and they got 3 points anyway. Sort of makes the defensive team feel a little bit badly on that.
Deep for the Brickies.
Now, Nicholas Wright, who scored the touchdown, will kick off for Lew Wallace with the ball in the tee at the 40-yard line.
Number 32, Josh Scalba.
Sugudovic is deep at the 7, flanked by Scalba and Bloom. Nick Wright is ready to go. Line drive, running forward is Sugudovic. No, it's taken by an up man at the 20-yard line all the way to the 30. 35 to the 38-yard line.
Joe Clifford on the play.
Number 19, Joe Clifford, is 6'1", 175 junior. I'll tell you what, Stu, you like to see that. You like to see that from a young man who's there on the kickoff team. So many times you see players shy away from the ball and it bounces. But he went right after it. It was a short kick. Sugudovic was running up, but I think that's the right play by Clifford.
Well, he went up there and grabbed it with both hands. It was not into the shoulder, into the bread basket or anything else. He took it with his hands and picked up yardage out to the 38.
First down and 10 for Hobart. Ball just shy of the 40 on the 39. They hand up Papivangelo, running over Kleiss to the 43-yard line. Gain of 5, and back to work is the Hobart rushing game.
Papivangelo on the carry, picked up about 4 yards. Second down.
Kleiss made the tackle, but ended up on the bottom.
Greg Zalode.
And he lands on the top, too, and it doesn't make Kleiss feel too happy, but he did have a hold on to him, but he picked up 5 yards on the play.
Gain of 5, second and 5 from the Hobart 43-yard line. Casco going to roll the right side, has an opening, tries to dance his way, going to be hit and brought down for a loss of a couple yards. Challenged Shonrick McDaniel at left corner, and Shonrick made an outstanding open field tackle.
He cut him down. If he had missed that tackle, and he probably would have picked up the first down the sidelines, but he couldn't get away. Shondrick made a great tackle. Lost a couple on that play.
Josh Wallace will bring in the play, the 5'11", 180 senior. Third down and about 7. We've had a snappy first half inside of 6 minutes to go as both teams continue to run it on the ground. Third down and 7. Casco's going to roll left this time. Sets up, fires downfield, got a man wide open. It's Wallace, and the ball hangs up. Make the catch at the 34-yard line. The ball hung up, I thought, enough time for Demetrius Hope to come over. But excellent concentration by Josh Wallace to hold on to the pigskin there.
Yeah, Josh got hit by the defender there, but he did manage to remain to concentration there and hold on to the ball. Picked up the first down on the play.
Roderick Hollingsworth was there for the Hornets.
34-yard line.
Had his mind on picking off that pass. Now the inside handoff, Sugudovic spins away from a tackle, coming to the 36 where he'll be knocked out of bounds by the Hornet defense. As we take a look at the Hobart backfield, I believe we have an injury on the near sidelines.
Second down.
Casco, Papivangelo, Bloom, Sugudovic, and Mark Parton have been doing the majority of the work for the Brickies tonight. We've also seen Josh Scalba in the ball game. We've got a Hornet injured on the near sidelines.
Hollingsworth is, I don't know whether he's the one. No, I guess he's not. He walked away.
I believe that first number is a 7.
I think that's one of the other problems. We talked about Lew Wallace and not having coaches on the staff. They also, like a lot of schools, don't have trainers and that available, and Hobart does have 2 trainers on the sideline and 2 team doctors. So hopefully they're never going to be needed, but that's one of the problems with a game like this, a lot of contact.
Raymond Harris is coming in for Wallace to replace the injured player on the near sidelines. We have still been unable to identify him. I see LaJock Wright and Andrew Pettigrew on the field ready to go in action. Might be Harvey Collins, who's been seeing some time, number 72, but we don't want to speculate. He's an outstanding young lineman for Coach Dave Templin. They're very high on Harvey Collins, 6'4", 275 junior. But an injured Hornet still being tended to on the near side of the field.
The net result of the whole thing, including the injury, was a loss of a yard for Hobart. Puts the ball on the 35-yard line.
Tonight he did leave the field under his own power. We're at 5:25 to go first half tonight from the Bricky Bowl. 7-6 Brickies here on WYN Channel 56 as we kick off the 1992 football season. And Stu, coaches on opening night want their kids to get through it without making mistakes on turnovers and penalties, and it's been an error-free football game to this point. Very well played, and 2 teams rushing the ball at each other.
Unbelievable for the blocking that's going inside, that we haven't picked up a hold or an encroachment or a false start or anything. I see Tom Malone talking to Dave Templin over there. If that young player has had a hit to the head, he may be out for the evening, because that's one of the things the officials are very, very strong on. Rules changed last year, said that any player that takes a hit to the head, he's going to be out of there unless there's a doctor that certifies that he can come back. The official's job is to take him out of the ball game if there's anything. So that may very well be what's happening with the referee talking to Coach Templin.
Second down and 11 for Hobart at the Hornet 35. As Sugutovic came in motion, Casco will roll the right side, tried to step up, now has Papavangelo.
Nice block by Chris Sweet.
Outstanding block. Casco runs to the 30, now thrown backwards at the 31-yard line by Shondrick McDaniel.
I think Shondrick is trying to make a statement there to his counterpart quarterback there that I'm playing defense too. He's made 2 great tackles on Eddie Casco on the play, but he came up hobbling a little bit there, but I guess it looks like he's all right now.
Outstanding block, you just said, Stu, by Sweet.
Yeah, Chris Sweet took out the defensive end on that one, Malcolm Lindsay, and opened up a big hole for Eddie to come through.
3rd down and 7. Ball resting on the Wallace 31-yard line as motion comes to the near side against Sugutovic. Casco will roll that way. Fires, got a man inside the 30, now inside the 25, inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Jeff Bloom has the Hobart first down.
Number 30, Jeff Bloom.
Last year those passes were being thrown to number 40 and picking up the same kind of yardage.
Nice throw by Casco, had a man break open and fired the ball on a line. An outstanding slow-mo. New to Channel 56 in 1992.
Blom protected that ball well. They were trying to strip it at the end. Demetrius Hope was in on that tackle. Papavangelo.
Hit at the 17 and driven down.
Papavangelo.
Brickies driving again deep in Hornet territory as we near the 3.5-minute mark to go first half.
Andre Dix was in on that tackle. Picked up 3 down to the 16, and they're driving again.
2nd down and 7. Slot to the right. Now Sugutovic circles into the backfield as a handoff inside Bloom. Bloom running to the 5. Jeff Bloom in the end zone for a touchdown. Jeff Bloom on the inside handoff, ran straight up the middle, got through the hole beautifully, and is in the end zone. The Brickies extend the lead. 13-6 Hobart with 3:24 to go first half.
I think that's a scouting kind of a thing. Generally, when Sugutovic goes in motion deep like that, they pitch to him going around. And as soon as that started to happen, the linebackers and everybody shot to the outside and left that big hole right up the middle. Had some good blocking for from Reisinger and Sweet on that one.
I'll tell
And
you
he
what,
went 16 yards for the score.
as we saw that play develop, Stu, I couldn't but think about how many times we saw number 40 motor through the hole on that play. As the kick is up and good by Latinovich. So John is perfect tonight in 2 tries. And with 3:24 to go first half, it is Hobart 14 and Wallace 6. This is the Northwest Indiana High School football game of the week on WYIN Channel 56.
Well, Hobart drove on that one. Had a good return from Joe Clifford that brought the ball out near the 40-yard line. So it's about a 60-yard drive. Kept the ball and just grounded out. Opened up the big hole up the middle as the Lew Wallace defense was sort of looking for an outside play.
(14-6). Jeff Bloom 15 yards away, straight up the gut for the second Hobart touchdown with 3:34 to go first half. Zagudovic scored on a 7-yard touchdown run with 1:56 to go first quarter. In between those two scores, Nicholas Wright scored from 4 yards away with 7:36 to go first half. And we've got a 14-6 football game. The extra point attempt after the Wallace touchdown was missed by Otis Frazier. And John Latinovich has it on the tee at the Hobart 40-yard line. Got a good one off this time. McDaniel will field at the 15, to the 20. Straight up the middle, 25, hit at the 20, still on his feet. Gets across the 30, maybe gets the 30, and that's all. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets at the 30-yard line.
Art Miller was in on the tackle, and McDaniel is still on the ground.
Yes, he is.
He came up tackling Casco before and hobbled up for a little while before he got up and went back in. But he got a pretty good stick by Art Miller on that play. And he'll be out for at least one of these plays.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Hornets at the 30-yard line. Roderick Hollingsworth is the backup quarterback and has an outstanding arm for the Hornets. And he is in the ball game now at quarterback.
I wonder whether this will change Coach Templin's game plan with a different quarterback in here.
They hand off inside and hit the line of scrimmage and brought down as the ball carrier, Andre Dix. Stopped at the 30-yard line. Clock running, 2:42 to go first half. More players down.
Mark Trumbull made that hit on right on the line of scrimmage. In fact, they actually lost a yard on the play. I think they were waiting for Dix on that one. McDaniel's back in there now, so they're going to have to be watching for him going out wide.
2nd down and 11. Ball on the 29-yard line. Now a flag thrown. Could be a delay of game penalty, as it looks like Sean Rick McDaniel came back into the ball game after that 1st down play. Offsides on Wallace.
Yeah, we have an encroachment. The kid must have gone down and had one across that neutral zone, and he encroached, picked up the penalty.
5-yard penalty on the Hornets. Signal was offside. 2nd down and 16.
First train of the season came through on a timeout. This one's coming through right in the middle of the play.
And as usual, right when the opposing team comes to the line of scrimmage. McDaniel now running to the 30, to the 35, near the far sidelines and out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Aaron Burkhart into the tackle. No, excuse me, it wasn't Aaron Burkhart. Ryan Warren was the one that made the tackle on there.
Ryan Warren. McDaniel picks up about 13 yards. Third down and 3 yards.
Stu, we're having a hard time controlling our monitor here. So I believe we've got some ruffians downstairs trying to pull on some cable.
No.
Maybe one of our guys wants to head out of the truck and clear that up. Third down and 3. McDaniel hands off. Going nowhere is the fullback. It's Nicholas Wright. I'm sorry that time.
The fullback got stood up at the line of scrimmage, and Wright got stood up right behind him.
Right side of the Bricky line, little or no gain, fourth down.
In fact, he lost about a yard on the play.
It'll be fourth down now and 3 for the Hornets.
Sadio goes back and punt formation for them. Sagudovic and Bloomer deep for the Brickies.
And the clock continues to run, and the Hornets will try to run it as far as they can down. It's at 24 now. It's going to be almost blocked, but Santiago gets it away as the Bricky missed the block. It'll roll and be down at the 41-yard line. Looked like one of the Brickies was in there quickly enough, just missed the ball. Maybe he was too close to the punter.
He got a partial block on the thing because he did run into the kicker, and there was no flag, so he did get his hand on the ball. I think they saw the first snap was a wobbler going back there, and they had a return on. They figured on this one that they probably would throw the thing in, trying to block that thing and get it deep.
Now a timeout, Hobart, with 8 seconds to go first half. Not sure. I think that was Greg Papavangelo who was in there. With 8 seconds to go first half, we will also take a timeout. 14-6 Hobart with the lead in the Bricky Bowl on opening night 1992 on WYN Channel 56. Some confusion down on the field now as before the Brickies came to the line of scrimmage after their timeout. The clock had run out. I believe the official inadvertently.
No, I think the timekeeper up there saw him motion the play ready for action and turned the clock on, and it shouldn't until the snap.
After 34 years of doing the PA and the scoreboard, basically everything up top, and the opener here tonight, malfunctioning already.
I can point my finger now. What's that called? An inadvertent finger.
Mark, be sure to get a timeout if there's a check.
Probably since the timekeeper isn't going to be able to set that 10 seconds on there very quickly, they'll just keep the time on the field.
First down and 10 for the Brickies. Now they're running the play, and the clock is still running down from 50 as Casco's going to fire. Looks straight down the middle, got a man breaking, but covered very well by the Hornet secondary, overthrown at the 20-yard line. McDaniel still limping, Stu, and he was back there with Hollingsworth. And as the clock continues to try to get straightened out, I believe we are at halftime.
That pass was intended for Mike Reese on the play. Was not able to break into the clear. McDaniel, I hope it's not a knee injury. Maybe it's just a cramp because maybe he's just not ready.
Okay, we're at halftime. 14-6 Brickies on Channel 56. Halftime at the Bricky Bowl, 14-6 Hobart with the lead over the Gary Wallace Hornets as we're just about ready to start the third quarter of action tonight from the Bricky Bowl. Stu, we're going to take a look at some records for Hobart from the decades, I believe. Coach Don Howell has been here. This is his 27th season as head coach of the Hobart Brickies. It's been some tremendous seasons at Hobart. Starting now his 27th season, 11 appearances in the state championship game. And there you see, Stu, you've seen a lot of those ball games. I'm not going to age you that much, but you've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, we've been there, every one of them. I think we can get the statistics in for halftime. Jim Crago, who is our statistician, makes sure that I try to get him on. Rushing, Hobart picked up 88 yards, Lew Wallace 85, so that was pretty even. Jeff Bloom for 20. Papavangelo 18, Ed Casco had 3, Bob Skudovic had 37, and Josh Scalva had 10. For the Hornets, McDaniels with 31, Dix with 50, Wright with 3, and Hope with 1. The difference was the passing. McDaniel was 0 for 1. Casco 3 for 4 for 55 yards.
Line drive boot by Nicholas Wright, caught at the 20 by Segudovic to the 30. Bob still on his feet, makes a good cut at the 24. Now it's going to be brought down just across the 25 of the 26-yard line. Demetrius Hope, number 7, on the stop for the Hornets. It'll be 1st and 10 for Hobart out at the 36-yard line.
That was Josh Scalba on the return, and one more block and one more step, and he might have gone down the sidelines.
27th season for the head coach. Starting this one with, as Stu told you earlier, a little rotator problem on the shoulder that may require surgery at some point. First down and 10 for the Brickies. Parton goes wide left. Segudovic in the slot to the right side. Split backs. Now Bob goes in motion to the far side. They pitch to Bloom. 35, 37, across the 40 to the 41-yard line before he is brought down. And Andre Dix made the stop, number 47, and we still haven't seen 44, Derek Kleisel. There he is. He is in the ball game. He will start the second half. He was injured early in the first half.
Yeah, Price went from his linebacker spot right up to the line just before the snap of the ball. So Dix was freelancing back there, and they closed that hole down a little bit. But they still picked up about 4 yards on the play.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6 from the Hobart 40. Wide receiver to the near side. They give it second man through. Bloom across the 40 to the 41, but no further before he is wrapped up on the play. A host of Hornets there at the 41-yard line, including Andre Dix again.
I think we'll have his name down, Pat, by the time this game's over. Particularly throwing Kleiss up into the line, trying to clog those pulling guards. It leaves him to freelance right along the line of scrimmage. Nobody can get out there to him because they've got a man on everybody.
3rd down and a long 5, and now we have a whistle blown to stop play. Officials meeting at the 37-yard line.
I think they're trying to determine who's supposed to order the pizza for after the game.
Stu, very even statistically through one half. As you said, the passing game the difference. Casco with 3 of 4 for 55 yards.
Yeah, he has the completions there. He sort of spread them around. Wallace had a 29-yarder, Segudovic for 15, and Bloom for 11. And that's the difference, basically, other than 3 yards in the rushing. But both teams have pretty much stayed on the ground tonight and pounded themselves back and forth.
Andre Dix with 50 yards in the first half for Lew Wallace, and now we have a timeout on the far side, and Dave Templin looks like he is unsure. I think, Stu, I think this rule that you talked about might be being enforced because Derek Kleiss is now again on the far sidelines.
Richard Anderson, the umpire, who is also the rules interpreter for this area and is very knowledgeable on the rules, I think is explaining it to Coach Templin. Coach Templin seems to be rather emphatically saying the kid's okay, but that's not the official's job.
I can understand his point, though. If they don't have a team doctor, I'm sure he feels they shouldn't be penalized for not having a team doctor who can give a player clearance to go back on. Now they might be going, is this one of the Hobart team doctors?
Yes, that's Mark Carter, the Hobart team doctor, and he may go over and consult. Coach Howell might be upset if Carter gives him the okay to play. But the rule is very clear in the interpretation of the official. If a boy is hit in the head and loses consciousness or has what might be a gaga land trip, the officials are to put him out of the ball game. If they have a team doctor on the sidelines, they can bring him back in if the doctor okays it. But the officials, from the safety point, and that's what the officials are concerned about, the safety of the player, they will keep him out of the ball game unless there is a doctor that certifies that he may come back in.
Well, the doctors and Coach Templin and the referee continue to meet on the far side of the field. Derek Kleiss, again, is going off the field. He did start the second half. You mentioned the ruling in the first half. You thought that's maybe what they were saying to Coach Dave Templin when we had a delay early in the first half. And now I think they're trying to explain it again to the coach, and he is red hot, and I don't blame him. I'm sure the rule is made for the safety of the children, but Coach Templin's got 2 assistant coaches. He's operating shorthanded as it is, And I'm sure his frustration level right now is going to the breaking point if he can't have one of his star linebackers in the ball game because he doesn't have a team doctor.
And I'm afraid that what he's concerned about is that the drop-off between the first line and the second line may be just enough to give a little edge to the Hobart running game there, and he doesn't want that. So, but then again, no matter what he wants, I think the officials and he should be concerned with the player.
We may be able to listen in a little, Stu.
You make that determination. But 44 cannot play.
There you see it. There you hear it.
I don't have a signed release. He will not play. 44.
They need a
didn't give me a sign.
The official is stating to Coach Templin that he needs a signed release on the far sideline in order for 44 to come back twice to play in the ball game. Stu, have you ever seen this enforced in any other ball game?
Well, never in a ball game. Usually if it happens, I know it happened in the Jamboree last week when one of the Hobart boys got hit by his own player in a pile-up, and the coaches just took him out and didn't bring him back in. Had it been a regular game, they would have had a...
We've got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty being called against Lew Wallace.
And that would be for using an ineligible player at that particular point.
That's for using Kleiss on the first two plays of the third quarter. And I can tell you, I can see Coach Templin across the lane, David, red hot.
We have a 15-yard penalty, sportsmanlike conduct, illegal participation. Number 44 has been removed from the game, being deemed unconscious earlier.
I'll tell you, you're right on the money there, Stu.
Well, that's the rule, and the rule was put in for the safety of the players. And it's sort of a shame that a good boy has to go out, but it's better for that he plays another week than perhaps have another hit in the head and have a problem tonight.
Certainly, but I know the frustration that Dave Templin's feeling. He feels as we have a run to the near sideline. Bloom on his feet inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. I'm sure Dave Templin's team feels like they're being penalized because they don't have a team doctor, but as a good run there by Bloom.
Van and Hope came in on the tackle and drove him out of bounds on there.
Let's see the replay as the pitch went to Bloom. He went off right tackle. Outstanding run. This can work two ways. It can work to motivate the Hornets, or it can work to take a little out of them. And with 10:05 to go third quarter, I think one way or another this will be a turning point in the ball game. First down and 10 for the Brickies at the Wallace 29-yard line. Inside against Zagudovic, running to the 30. Has Nicholas Wright, gives him the straight arm at the 30-yard line, down to the 20, to 15, to 10. Zagudovic tripped up from behind by Andre Dix. At the 5-yard line, it'll be first and goal for the Brickies at the 5.
Saving tackle by Andre Dix, and he just managed to trip up his heel. Zagudovic was almost into the end zone, but Dix, who plays the middle but covers all whole field, he is a fantastic linebacker. Saved the touchdown for the Hornets.
On the 5-yard line, first and goal.
I think Derek Kleiss has been replaced by number 40, Tasman Van, and Van is in there at linebacker spot now.
First down and goal for Hobart at the 5-yard line. Clock running inside of 9:35. They pitch back Bloom to the 5. Bloom driving toward the end zone. He's a yard or two short of the end zone. It'll be second down and goal from the Wallace 2-yard line.
Like it's going to be spotted just inside the 1-yard line.
Harvey was in on the tackle, defensive end, along with LeJacques Wright.
Clock running to the 9-minute mark for the third quarter. 14-6 Hobart. They had a 8-point lead at halftime, and now they're looking to extend it early in the third quarter. Mark Parton goes wide right, slot right, tight end to the left side. Zagudovic goes straight across in motion. Casco on the sneak, tries the end zone.
Casco
driving
touchdown.
toward the end zone for the touchdown.
Eddie Casco got behind his big lineman and sort of got lost in the crowd and slipped into the end zone. What Wallace has been doing with their linebackers, they started off with the two linebackers there, Kleiss and Dix, and then they began to put one of them into the line, which sort of puts man on man of each offensive line and lets the other linebacker scrape off and clean up the whole line of scrimmage there. But
Leys just continued driving in behind that big offensive line, and they went into the end zone.
Leon Dean was taking a few steps backwards on that play.
Casco driving into the end zone for his first touchdown this evening. Now number 90, the freshman John Latinovich in the ball game. Good snap. It is a line drive that is no good. Line drive that is no good, wide left. So with 8:46 to go in the third quarter, Latinovich misses for the first time tonight, and Hobart has a 20-6 lead.
Well, John, it won't be the first time you miss in your whole career, but I'm sure you'd like to have kept spotless. He got 3 in the Jamboree last week and 2 so far tonight. Just did not hit that ball exactly the way he wanted to. Next time, I'm sure the concentration level will be up a little bit more.
8:46 to go, third quarter from the Bricky Bowl tonight. Next Friday night will be in Highland. They'll be battling for the bridge in week 2 of the high school football season in Northwest Indiana. Leroy Marsh and the Ponies will be in Highland to take on their arch rivals, the Highland Trojans and Rick Fletka. And then Saturday, folks, the premiere of Illinois high school football action on WYN Channel 56. A tape delay broadcast at 6 p.m. You'll see one of the best players in the state of Illinois, Robert Farmer, an outstanding running back for Bolingbrook, as they host Bloom right here on Channel 56. Latinovich with a long driving kick toward the 10-yard line where Hollingsworth has it to the 20. Starts his way to the 21 and is hit and brought down at the 21-yard line. Outstanding coverage that time by the kickoff team, and it was Jeff Bloom.
Well, I think there's a little bit of difference between Shondrick McDaniel running that kick back and Hollingsworth.
Indeed, it looked like a little difference in speed there as Hollingsworth was trying to put on some moves. McDaniel just used straight speed.
Well, he kept pointing to people to block different people, but he was going east and west instead of north and south, and that's not the way to pick up the yardage. McDaniel still seems to be limping, and I'm not sure what it was, but he got hurt before, and hopefully it's only a leg cramp.
The handoff goes inside to Dix, the first man through, and he is across the 22 to the 23-yard line, where it will be 2nd down and 7.
Burkhart was in on that tackle from Andre Dix picks up about 3
safety
yards
spot.
Wallace. 2nd down, 7. Ball on the Wallace 23-yard line.
Cooper also in on that tackle.
Clock running at 7:50 to go, third quarter. Blackburn comes to the near side. Santiago to the far. Wishbone formation this time for Shondrick McDaniel on 2nd down and 7 from the Hornet 23-yard line. He's going to run the option right side. He's going to be hit and brought down from behind. An outstanding tackle from the near side. Greg Papievangelo, number 49, from behind made the tackle.
Papievangelo made a dive and caught him by the ankles just as he started to turn up and managed to put him down.
3rd down, long 6 for Lew Wallace on their own.
Only a gain of a yard.
Yeah, the defensive line was shifting out there with him this time instead of getting caught up with the blockers, and Papo caught him from behind.
3rd down and 6 from the Hornet 25-yard line. Motion comes to the near side as Hope. McDaniel will roll the left side, looking to throw, going to fire way downfield. Did not have a man breaking deep. Overthrown by 15 yards at the Hobart 40-yard line and incomplete.
Almost looked like it was intended for Sagutovic. Either someone did not run the right pattern.
That time by number 66, Al Cooper.
Santiago was out.
Hope and Santiago were the only 2 receivers out there, and they both broke it off short.
Miscommunication there on that pass pattern, and it'll be 4th down and 6.
Back deep for the Brickies.
And McDaniel will limp off the field, and
number 30,
Santiago will go back in punt formation as we're inside of 7 minutes for the third quarter, and he will punt.
18, Derek Santiago.
You may see a block attempt on this one there. They're anticipating that center is not going to get the ball back very quickly.
And now a Wallace timeout is some confusion there with the 11th man coming on the field for the punt team. Clock stopped at 6:41 to go, third quarter. Stu, you and I thinking light there. We think with Derek Kleiss being removed from the ball game, he was probably on the punt cover team, and an 11th Hornet unsure who was coming on the field there as the punter was run over after the punt. Santiago hit. I don't see a flag, though. Might have been some inadvertent contact or also a good acting job.
No. There wasn't a flag on the thing, and I don't think he got hit in a normal kind of a way that would cause a penalty. But they did have the attempted block of the punt on. Just didn't get to. You notice he stepped off to the side instead of stepping forward to the line like he normally does, and he got it away that way.
20-6 Hobart. 6.5 minutes to go, third quarter. You get the feeling the Hornets have a little bit of the air taken out of them here after that touchdown. First down and 10 for the Brickies. Sugudovic circles into the backfield. Handoff comes to the second man over the 30 to the 33-yard line on the carry. Papa Evangelo, number 49, carrying a gain of 3. It'll set up second down and 7 as Skalba comes back into the ball game.
I see Andre Dix trying to do some coaching on Van out there, number 40, who replaced Derek Kleiss. I think the young man is not too familiar with that position. He's obviously not having the experience that Dave Templeton would like out there, and Dix is sort of pointing him around where he's supposed to go. He moved up into the line at this point.
Second down and 6. Motion again by Sugudovic. They pitch coming to the right side. Skalba diving over the 40 to near the 41-yard line. Jeff Bloom that time on the carry to the 41.
Dix also on the tackle. Cut him down at the knees. Went right over the top of him, but he picked up the first down.
Chris Sweet leading the way again on that running play. Art Miller in the ball game brings in the play for Hobart on first down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Skalba and Bloom again the setbacks. Sugudovic slot right. He circles into the backfield in motion. They give it second man through Bloom, diving to the 42-yard line, where he is stopped by
number 30, Jeff Bloom on
Andre Dix.
See, that sounds familiar.
Gain of 2, second down and 8.
Dix being basically the only linebacker with Van moving into the line to clog up the interior blocking, has a free run back along that line, and he's certainly making the most of it.
Second down and 8. Clock continues to run inside of 4:30 to go, third quarter. 20-6 Hobart. Sugudovic slowly circles in motion. Off play action, Casco back to throw. Fires down the right side under through his man at the 46-yard line. Had Papa Evangelo open behind Andre Dix and just underthrew the ball, incomplete.
Dix having to cover the whole line as far as the linebacker for any potential run, still has to drop off in the pass coverage and was beaten, but the pass was underthrown and Papa Evangelo was not able to come up with the reception.
Third down and 8. Clock stopped at 4:25 to go, third quarter.
Go! Stay back, guys. Stay back.
Third down and 8 from the Bricky 42. Inside hand up to the slot man again. He's running the left side. Hit and brought down is Matt Ballage on an outstanding defensive play by Nicholas Wright. A loss on the play of a couple yards. It'll bring up fourth down and 11.
Nicholas Wright and Andre Dix. Dix is playing a Super Bowl game. Super Bowl game.
Seanrick McDaniel still limping. Will go back to return the punt. He's backing up at his 25-yard line. First punt of the evening for the Brickies. Joe Clifford on the field at his 27-yard line. He will catch there and boot it. Gets it away under duress at the 31. McDaniel catches at the 26. Hit, fumbles, and Hobart has the football. Hobart has the football at the 28-yard line. Al Cooper on the recovery as McDaniel moving gingerly after the injury just lost the football that time, and the first mistake of the ball game on either side. A turnover here on the fumble, and Hobart has the ball again on offense in great field position.
He was not really hit on that play. He just went down, and the ball popped out before he went down to the ground. Cooper was right there to make the tackle, and said picked up the ball just popped right out of his hands, and Al Cooper came up with it.
1st and 10 for Hobart. They pitch back. Running to the 25-yard line is Bloom. Hit and brought down. A fired-up Hornet down there made the stop.
Hope is in on that tackle coming up from his safety spot. They're having some trouble with their holes because that linebacker is coming up there and making it a bigger front. They're either going to have to try to go a little bit wider, come back with a counter, or throw a few passes to soften them up on this.
2nd down and 8. Clock running, 2:42 to go, 3rd quarter. Here comes the reverse to Segudovic with Casco in front. Hit, still on his feet, motoring down to the 20-yard line. Looked like Segudovic was going to go down back at the 25, but he kept his feet, gained 5 yards down to the 21-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Malcolm Lindsay, the defensive end on there, sort of stayed at home. He had a blocker on him, but managed to shed it and trip up Segudovic on about the 21-yard line.
Bob trying to stretch out that right hamstring there as you run inside of the 2:10 mark. 3rd down and 3. They pitch back. Bloom running off left tackle. Going to be close. Has the 1st down, running out of bounds inside the 20 down to the 17-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10. Brickies at the Wallace 17.
Bloom just picked up an extra 2 yards on there, heading right for the sideline. Managed to change direction and take one step up the field before he got knocked out of bounds. Had the 1st down, but managed to pick up a couple of more. They'll have it 1st and 10 on the 15.
First down and 10 for Hobart at the Wallace 15-yard line. Brickies looking to apply the knockout punch here with 1:56 to go, 3rd quarter. Balish in the slot left. They give Segudovic, I believe, in the backfield, or is that Skalba again? Josh Skalba, number 32, running from the backfield to the 14-yard line. A gain of about 5. Or excuse me, a gain of 1. Hey, they're moving those yard markers on me over there, Stu.
Ball on the 14-yard line.
Must be the heavy air down there, Joe. It's getting that vision there.
They're playing with me down there on the far sideline.
It's those gnats on your glasses.
2nd down and 9. Wallace comes wide right. Balish in the slot. They pitch the right side. Bloom to the 15 on his
good block, good block.
To the 5, and he'll go down there at the 5-yard line.
Papavangelo put a great block on the cornerback and sprung Bloom.
Dixon Hollingsworth saved a touchdown there for Lew Wallace. But it's close to another Bricky 1st down as here we see the block.
Papavangelo puts a great block on that corner, which allows Bloom to cut back up inside and pick up enough for the 1st down on the 4-yard line.
Clock running inside of a minute, 30 to go, 1:05 to go, and 1st and goal for Hobart. Split backs behind Casco. Motion to the near side is Balish. They give to Papavangelo, picking his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Greg Papavangelo from 5 yards away. 56 seconds to go, 3rd quarter, and Hobart extends the lead, 26-6 Brickies.
I think they wanted to give that to Greg since he put a key block on the last one, but he sort of scented that end zone. He went that last few yards to get in there.
John Latinovich in to get the extra.
Did a great job of picking his way through the blocking that time.
Well, the defensive line was sort of moving backwards. The offensive line and the backs coming into that hole opened it up and then put them on their heels. So Greg did not have much of a problem. He spotted one little hole and he was in right away.
Really almost ran into his
Dead ball.
backmate Bloom.
Encroachment. Defense.
This was the same situation in the Jamboree when Maryville was ahead 7-6, and they had the same kind of a thing, and they usually go for 2 points on there, but Donnie Rogers wanted his kicker to have a shot at it. Freshmen need all the confidence they can get. They only got that one through.
The boot is up, and the boot is good.
I told you his concentration level would be a little bit better when he missed that last one. I'm sure he got talked to on the sideline.
56 seconds to go, third quarter, and as they come back up the field, the Brickies have taken a huge step toward a victory here in week 1. 27-6 Hobart.
I think Lew Wallace looks a little bit down. I'm sure part of it is losing their good linebacker, Kleiss. McDaniels looks like he's still hobbling around. I give him a lot of credit for being out there.
Things going pretty much to form here tonight offensively for the Brickies. No mistakes, no turnovers. They've run the ball very effectively. They've blocked very effectively. They've contained the Wallace offense, which had some good yardage at times in the first half. And here's the kickoff going to be returned again by Hollingsworth. He's wrapped up at the 27-yard line. And Seanrick McDaniel now operating on a bad wheel. Just looked like he shied away from that return.
Matt Ballish, one of the linebackers, is one of the bullets that gets down there fast, was in on the tackle.
First down and 10 for the Hornets, as we're inside of a minute for the third quarter. Blackburn comes wide left, Santiago wide right. Dix is the fullback. Quick pitch now the right side. Hit and going down for no gain by Bob Segudovic. Let's see, it looks like it was Nicholas Wright who's getting up now slowly himself.
Wright was the one that took that quick pass. Josh Wallace, the corner, was in on him right away, but the safety came up and the linebackers flowed out there, so he did not pick up much yardage on the play. But we're getting to the point where Wallace is either going to have to break a long one to sort of get back in there and get their momentum going, or they're going to have to start to throw.
Second down and 11. McDaniel going to roll the left side, rushes on, tries to straighten up, going to be hit and go down at the 25-yard line. Al Cooper, who's had an outstanding game tonight, and Aaron Burkhardt on the stop.
You noticed in the deep secondary, Rob Segudovic was right between two potential receivers, one short and the other one long and behind him. Of course, McDaniel by that time had decided to run and got tripped up.
We're through with 3 quarters tonight at the Bricky Bowl. Opening night 1992 as the fans come to their feet on the home side. 27-6. Hobart has the lead here tonight on WYN Channel 56. Fourth quarter of action upcoming tonight with Stu Maddox, Joe Redondo in the Bricky Bowl on WYN Channel 56. A third down and 12 facing the Gary Wallace Hornets as we begin the fourth quarter of play tonight. And the Brickies have dominated the third quarter here this evening. A Wallace turnover, and the Bricks have taken advantage of that to extend the lead.
I think Coach Boston and Coach Kerr were working on that pass defense, because there's a guy wide open on there, but McDaniels didn't see him.
Now McDaniels going to bootleg the right side, has some yardage to the 30, to the 35. Hit and knocked it out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Good stick by Josh Wallace to knock him out of bounds.
Wallace, Al Cooper over there, Matt Ballish over there also. But he kept that ball on his hip. Came around there.
Hornets really were effective running inside in the first half, and since then have really not had an opportunity to get outside here in the second half.
We have a halftime score from Lake Central. Lake Central over East Chicago, 14-7.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. Ball just inside the 40-yard line. Wide receivers to each side. Wishbone formation. They run the option. Left side, Hope's going to be hit in the backfield and brought down. Aaron Burkhardt.
Al Cooper was right there. Reisinger was right out there, too.
Hope on the run. Aaron Burkhardt on the tackle.
Pitch came back, and he bobbled it slightly. That sort of threw him off there, and the defense got there before he could recover and turn the burners on.
Aaron Burkhardt, who was a cover boy today in the local, in the football section. I'm sure he appreciated that, trying to live up to those expectations as being on the cover.
Well, I'm sure he's passing out autographed copies of that there, before, at least after the game.
After that play, he can.
Well, if he picks off an interception, he'll probably really.
Timeout on the field, timeout on WYN Channel 56. 11:10 to go in the ball game. 27-6, Hobart in command on WYN Channel 56. 27-6, Hobart in command as we have just begun the fourth quarter of play at the Bricky Bowl tonight. Second down and 15 for Wallace from their 35-yard line. I formation in the backfield this time behind McDaniel. He's going to roll the right side. Looking, throwing, deflected and broken up by Balish at the 40-yard line.
Pass intended for Dix. He was pointing to the official saying interference, but it was inadvertent contact. Both players going for the ball.
Third down, 15. Lew Wallace on their own 35-yard line.
Matt Balish did a good job of getting his hand in the way, breaking up that ball.
He'll think about that on the way back because he had a good shot at the interception if he'd have gotten both hands up there.
Tom Kerr has had a tremendous night again on defense. They have given up some yardage inside, but Wallace has not been able to get outside. There's a long pass in the air, overthrown to Santiago. Incomplete. It'll bring up fourth down and 15.
Intended for number 10, Hollingsworth. Fourth down, 15 for the Hornets.
Brickies have really not given Wallace much off tackle tonight, Stu. They had given him the middle early in the ball game. We're containing them inside, just trying to stay away from that big play around the ends.
Well, they're concerned about the halfbacks going wide around there, but that hasn't happened. As I mentioned earlier, we thought the biggest concern was going to be with McDaniel faking in the middle and faking outside and then cutting off anytime there's a hole. And, of course, Dick's going up the middle, which he did very early in the second quarter, picked up a couple of first downs in a row. There they tried to isolate the halfback coming out on the linebacker, and the ball was just overthrown.
Now flag down as it was a high snap to Santiago, and we'll see what the call is. A delay of game on offense. The Hornets.
Penalty flag, delay of game on Wallace.
This, for a first game of the season, has been basically penalty-free. Wallace has had a couple of encroachments, one offensively, one defensively, and that delay of game. I don't think Hobart's picked up a penalty so far. So it's been a well-played ball game on both parts for early in the season.
High snap, Santiago gets it away. It's going to hit at the Hobart 47, go through the legs of Bloom, and going to roll nearly out of bounds at the 32-yard line. And Jeff will be talked about, we'll have that play talked about in the near future.
Nearer than you may think. They had the return on to this side, and the ball was very short. Jeff was back deep, and he could not get up there, tried to field it on a short hop, and he just could not get down there to cover it. But he did a good thing as it was going toward the sidelines and Wallace was coming in. He did tap the ball out of bounds, so Hobart kept possession.
He definitely did try to come back and cover the ball as it rolled inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. First down and 10 for the Brickies. Casco remains in the game at quarterback. Slot to the right side. Give first man through. Open to the 40. Scalba almost had it knocked away. Maintains possession of the ball. Gets across the 50 down to the Wallace 44-yard line.
Possible saving tackle by Nicholas Wright on there, who came up there and caught him, had the angle on him, caught him in the sidelines.
Territory on the Wallace 44-yard line.
Scalba ran a play like that against Valpo when there was just a big pileup in the middle, and the pileup was there for a long time, and he just burst out and picked up 26 yards on the play. Just similar to that. He got stopped at the line of scrimmage, but kept right on going.
The senior Josh Skalba has run very well, as have the Bricky running backs this evening. First down and 10. Handoff to Bloom in the backfield. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but gets away and gets forward to the 43-yard line where Andre Dix made the stop.
LeJacques Wright hit him in the backfield, but could not hold on. Jeff Bloom pulled away from him, and Dix finally put him down on about the 43.
Second down and 8. Casco back to throw, going to roll the right side. Fires, got a man inside the 40 to the 36-yard line. Brought down out of bounds.
Casco's pass incomplete.
Jeff
Incomplete on the far sideline. Bloom looked like he made the catch, but it's ruled incomplete.
Well, must have gone right through it.
Sure did.
Well,
hit him in a bad spot.
The umpire's trying to figure out where to spot the ball.
Come on, Brad.
The tempo of the ball game tonight has not been very crisp. Third down and 9. Motion comes to the near side. Sagudovic back to throw is Casco. Fires the left side, has a man at the 40. And falling down as he was falling forward, and might have had first down yardage in front of him.
Number 30, Jeff Bloom.
Bloom looked like he might have had first down yardage, but couldn't keep the feet at the 37-yard line.
35-yard line.
Malcolm Lindsay, the defensive end, dropped off in coverage on there and caught him after Bloom stumbled a few times.
Forward momentum got him down there at the 36, and the fans now on fourth down and 1.
If it had been baseball, he would have been safe sliding in there, though.
Urging the coaching staff to go, and they will, on 4th and 1 at the Wallace 36-yard line. They give off inside. Papa Evangelo lost the ball on the turf at the 34-yard line. Who has it back? Players signaling to both sides down on the field as Papa Evangelo got through the hole and had the first down, just forgot the ball.
Papa Evangelo on the carry.
I think LeJacques Wright just sort of stripped that ball out as he went through there.
Gary Wallace pushed down.
I'm not sure who covered that ball, but Dix got up from near the bottom of the pile. It may very well have been Andre Dix.
On the replay, there's the ball loose on the turf and players diving for it. And Wallace has the football at the 34-yard line.
And we had a good view of the backside of the official running in to cover the play, but not the person who recovered the ball.
Just saw some players diving. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 34-yard line. Santiago and Blackburn are the receivers. Now Nicholas Wright and Hope come up, and a flag thrown again.
Leggy. Offense.
Referee Malone gives you the call.
Sometimes with the delay of game clocks, it seems almost incomprehensible why the players will come up there looking right down the hash marks and seeing how much time they have left and not get the count off. But this is the second time they've called it on them tonight.
First down and 15 for the Hornets. Nicholas Wright in motion to the far side. Now they lose. They snap. McDaniel trying to run free, but he's going to go down. Hollingsworth, 27-yard line.
That was Roderick Hollingsworth who came in at quarterback on that play and did not get the snap.
And the play now, which was so good in the first half, has now started to deteriorate a little here in the fourth quarter.
New quarterback in there, and the snap isn't just quite exactly the same, and he bobbled it coming out.
Roderick Hollingsworth, the better thrower of the quarterbacks for Wallace, 6-foot senior. Has Nicholas Wright going in motion. Now he's back to throw, pitches it quickly. It's a lateral. It's a free ball in the 16-yard line. Let's see what the call is. It looked like a lateral, but I believe the officials, what's the call? They're going to say that Nicholas Wright recovered back at his 17-yard line. That's what the call is. So now the Hornets will have third and a bunch.
Yeah, they threw the ball backwards, and Hobart had 2 shots going after it, but Nicholas Wright managed to come back up with it. But it's third and a whole big bunch.
3rd and 28 from the Wallace 17-yard line as the clock runs toward the 7-minute mark for the 4th quarter. Third down and 28. Hollingsworth hit from the front and the behind, and there it's recovered by Reisinger.
Now Reisinger
had the play developing very slowly, was hit from the front and the back, fumbled the ball, and Reisinger's on it for Hobart, and the Brickies in business again.
Hollingsworth has had trouble holding that ball on the snap the last time, and on the pitch it was a bad pitch to start with. He bobbled it coming out, made a bad pitch behind him,
and on the Lew Wallace 15-yard line, first down.
Outstanding defensive play there on the shot from both sides.
I'm sure Tom Reisinger, as an offensive center and a defensive tackle, sort of wishes he'd kept his feet because he had a touchdown on that one.
First down and 10. Handoff to Scalba. Gain of a couple yards off right guard. Down to the 13-yard line.
I think we could label this dinner with Andre. He met him in the hole. Scalba picked up about 4, but stopped very quickly.